Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm excited to be in the yard again today. It's a beautiful day. It's in the 40s. The next 4 days are going to be in the 50s. So I'm going to be pruning some roses today. So I'm going to be doing 3 series of this video. The first video that I'm doing today is going to be pruning my first year roses. So these are all David Austin roses. These are roses that I bought bare root and planted last spring, or they're roses that I bought at a nursery and planted them last year in my garden. So they're a little bit smaller, so I'm going to do a few different things for them. And then the second video in the series, which will come up after this, will be my more established David Austin roses. So I'll be pruning those. And then the third in the series will be my Eden climbing rose that I'll show you what I do for pruning for that. So should be fun. I'm going to start with these first years. In this video, I'm also going to show you what I do for fertilizer and other things that I do to ensure that I have beautiful blooms come May and June. So I'm super excited for the rose season. I have a video of my rose garden tour. I'll link that down below. It's probably my most popular video, so I'm excited to do that again this summer, especially because I've added some beautiful roses and I'm going to be adding more this spring. But a lot of you have asked me what I do for care, so this video is going to show you exactly what I do for that. Let's turn the camera on and get started. So hopefully you can see this rose. This was a bare root rose that I planted. This is my Gabriel Oak. It's so beautiful. It has bright, brilliant blooms. And as you can see, it's starting to bud out, which is really, really nice. I've got some really, really nice buds on there. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come and clean out all these leaves. And I'm going to pull off all these leaves on the plant as well. This is some new growth, so I won't worry about that. And this doesn't have too much on it, which is nice. And then I'm going to pull the mulch away a little bit, so I'm going to add some compost. For these first year roses, you want them to be about 12 to 15 inches tall where you cut. So a little shorter for these smaller ones. I have this stick, I've measured 12 inches and 15 inches and leaving an inch at the bottom so I can stick this stick in the soil. And I'm just going to use this as my guide. Put that down in the soil, and I'm going to stick with 15 inches for this one just because it is quite a bit taller. If it was shorter, I'd do 12. But I'm going to go for the 15, and I'll cut all my stems that size, not worrying about if I'm cutting by a bud or what direction the bud is. They say you really don't need to worry about that. Just keep it simple, cut it at that height. You don't have to worry about angling your cuts. It doesn't really matter. Pretty simple, especially with these smaller roses. So I'm going to cut here. And now I'm going to come in here and cut any branches that are crossing. Like this one right here is really rubbing on this branch. I'll probably cut both of those off. Let me cut this off. And then this branch here is crossing this one. And I'm going to take this one off and open that center a little bit. And then I'm going to cut off any branches that are really pencil thin and small that aren't going to be able to support a rose, and I'm going to cut those off. And then I'm going to cut this branch off just because it's kind of growing right into this one, and this is a really nice one. So I'm going to cut this one off right here at this stem. So hopefully you can see that there against the rock. It's got a really nice open framework in the center here. And nothing's crossing. It's open and airy, and it's going to be so much happier. I did leave some branches that were just a little bit smaller, and I think it will be just fine. And it's got the same height. I did even do a little bit shorter as I went around to just have a really nice mounding shape. You also want to make sure you clean up any debris, any old rose leaves out of here. You don't want to leave anything that may carry diseases, so I made sure to pick all those up. So I'm going to move on to my next roses and get those all pruned. Okay, this is my Eustacia Vye. It's looking really, really nice. I defoliated it. I got all the mulch cleared away, and there's a lot going on in the center. So the thing about the David Austin tutorials is that theirs are like perfectly manicured, you know, on their videos. And, you know, you don't ever see scenarios that are kind of like this. So I'm going to kind of clean up this mess. The other rose I had didn't have a lot of dead or diseased branches, and this one has a few. So I'm going to point that out to you. Let me clear away some of these leaves. This one's extra pokey, but see how this branch here is brown and these are all nice and green. They can be kind of green or orange and red, but this one really does look dead, as well as this one here, and it's got some like splitting going on in it. Hopefully you can see that. Let me try to pull it forward. And the thorns are gone, and it looks dead on top. So I'm going to cut that one out. This one is crossing a bunch of branches anyway, so I'm going to clean this up, get a lot of these taken out in the center just to open it up a little bit more. But I'm going to open it up, leave quite a few, get rid of any crossing. Like, see how this one's totally crossing? I'll probably cut this one off on the side here, and any of these other ones. This one doesn't look that great, so I'll probably cut that one. So let's just get on in there and start cutting off some dead branches. And since this one's a little bit shorter, I'm going to cut it probably down to like 12 or 13 inches using my little guide that I have. Since I'm pruning a new rose, I'm going to come and spray some alcohol and just clean these up and wipe them off a little bit. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this crossing one here. This dead one in here. This crossing one. I'm gonna take out this big guy here. This one here. Okay, that one's done. So this one's really interesting. There's just a lot going on at the base, but that's much more open. I do hope to encourage more growth this way this year, because this big branch, I guess, was cut off last time, and so there's really no growth this direction, and I wish it was kind of turned, but it's fine. It'll grow and fill that area in. But that one's all done. We're going to move on to the next. So these are my little baby Gertrude Jekyll. So I'm probably just going to take these down just a little bit. They're still really small. They were bare root. Didn't get super big this year. Hoping they get a little bigger this next year, but I'm going to go ahead and cut those back just slightly. So I had to cut this one back quite a bit, but I think it's going to be okay. I did leave these few ones, even though they are a little crossy, but I wanted a few taller ones. I think it'll be totally fine, but each of the large branches had some dead pieces on it, so I definitely wanted to get those off, as you can see here. So I did have to cut out. I did have to cut quite low. I wanted to cut here, but I decided I was going to cut there just to be safe. This one had some dark, kind of dead looking spots, and as you can see, this is all dead and brown, where it should be nice and green, and that's where I cut to. So those should be better. It's a little bit of a little bitty guy, but I think it's going to be totally fine. So I just wanted to make sure to get those off. These are just really small bare root roses that are in part shade, and so they didn't get as big as some of my other ones, but I think they're going to be just fine. Okay, as for fertilizing, last year I used this mix for the first time and I really loved it. Before that, I just used this rose tone, which I really like. It's a slow release and it's just really nice. So even if you just want to do one thing, this is a good option. But I like this Van Winden's Secret fertilizer mix that Janie shared from Van Winden's nursery. So it's 2 tablespoons of this Sulpo Mag, and then 1 cup of alfalfa meal, and then half a cup of this rose tone, or any organic rose food that you want to use, but this is the one that I like the best. So I'm going to sprinkle that around, and then I have some compost that I picked up. This is a local brand, it's Utah's own. Anyway, I wanted to try it. I've heard good things about it. The guy at the garden center said it was really good, so I'm going to use this. It's got turkey manure in it. It's weed free, it says. That's one thing that I do worry about with compost. I used last year Home Depot steer manure, and it actually worked really well, and I didn't have any weed issues, but I think this one's going to be fine. I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to put that all around the base of each one of my roses. I'll just show you it on one, and then we'll walk around and take a look at everything. Okay, that's it for my first year David Austin roses. I'm so excited to see this Gabriel Oak. It's going to give me a lot more blooms this summer, I feel, and everything's happy and ready and can't wait for spring. So hopefully that was helpful. Look forward to a few more videos coming of me pruning more established roses and also my Eden climbing rose. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.